We got a great question today about when do you know that your book is ready to go out, or your play or your screenplay? When do you know your project is ready to send out? So we have some tips.
The standard advice is that you give it out to probably 3 different people, some beta readers. And if you get similar feedback from all of them, if they all say that your one character is not working, then that is probably true. You probably need to continue working. If you get dissimilar advice or none of it resonates with you, then you can probably call it good.
Great. Make sure that you have your list of everything that you wanted to do on the book and check all those off, because one thing that happens is maybe you're giving out your manuscript as you're still working on it, or you think of an idea while somebody has a copy of it. So just make sure that you have your list. You know, you wanted to give attention to this character. You were going to tighten the dialogue in that scene. You know, all the things that you wanted to do, make sure you've checked them off.
Because ultimately, it's your book, and no one is going to care about your book as much as you. So if you're the one who has to say these things need to happen, and nobody else is going to care about it as much as you. So you need to fix the things that need to be done to your manuscript. And
absolutely.
Bottom line.
One thing that I was telling Sam that has really stuck with me that a playwright told me once is that he said he looks at his plays as if it's an opportunity to feng shui. And I don't really know much about feng shui, but the way he explained it was if you bump your shin on the corner of your bed every time you walk into your bedroom, it's a pretty good sign you need to move that bed or get a different bed because it doesn't fit in this room. And he said if you look at your manuscript the same way, and there's just always this thing that you bump your shin on, every time you get to that chapter, every time you get to that scene, you're thinking, there's something off. It's just too big. It doesn't fit. It hurts. Something's wrong. But you ignore it because it might be a lot of work to
that's a good
deal
thing.
With that.
Don't ignore things because it's a lot of work, because you have to fix it or no one's going to publish it. Another thing, like when you're trying to feng shui your manuscript, if you're doing at sentence level, you should probably read aloud, because if you're tripping over sentences or words, then you should fix them. And a lot of times you don't notice it until you read it aloud. So that's a good thing to do. And
we just got a tip that there's a read aloud feature on your...
Yeah, one of our clients.
Yeah. And so...
he listens to our notes aloud.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I bet
with a drink.
Yeah. I bet we sound great on robotic voices, you know? But yeah, I tried it out with a manuscript, and I thought it was really, really valuable because, you know, it's just different from reading with your eyes to listen. So that would be something to do if you don't feel like reading your book out loud to yourself.
I wanted to edit that sentence, reading with your eyes.
Yeah.
Totally didn't mean with your eyes.
No. But it's with your ears instead of your eyes.
Yeah,
I don't know. One more thing is this ultimate gut check.
Yeah.
Heart check. And we were talking about how you give it to these 3 people. How did you feel when you gave it to them? You know, do you feel like I'm really proud of this project, I'm really excited about it? Or was it like, I feel like you're seeing me naked, here you go? You know, what does it feel like when you send it out? And that's not a bad thing, actually, to be exposed. I don't know.
You probably should feel like you're walking around naked when someone reads your manuscript. That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. Because that means you risked something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
If you didn't risk anything, it's going to be a boring manuscript. So put yourself out there naked.
Our advice for today.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps, that question of good enough, because we all have a certain level of skills and we're all getting better. We've seen writers grow like leaps and bounds. They're on their 2nd or 3rd book now, and we're just blown away by how much they grow. So just trust that, maybe something is good enough for now, but in a year you'll have new tools and you'll be able to go back to revive a project too. So think about where your energy is and where you can keep improving and working. And then, you can always hire us.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're very nice, but we're honest. So a lot of times beta readers aren't necessarily honest, or they don't invest a lot of time because they have other projects going on, or you're their friend or their relative, and sometimes it's nice to have objective feedback from somebody, an editor.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't afford a full manuscript edit, full developmental edits, you can always find an editor who can read the first 30 pages or 50 pages, or maybe do a submission package where they read your query as well. And
that's an affordable option.
It is, yeah. And then lastly, once you start sending your work out, I think that's a good test of if it's good enough.
Yes. And so don't send 80 queries at once, because if you get all rejections from the first 5 or 10 or 15 or 20, then you probably need to do more work.
Go back, take another look, reassess. Same with the query. If you're not getting responses to your query, if people aren't asking for the manuscript, then it might be time to pull that query and rewrite it, revisit it, so you feel good about it.
Or if you get tons of full requests and nobody bites in the manuscript, then the manuscript probably needs work. You probably have an amazing first chapter, amazing query, and the manuscript itself isn't living up to the hype of the first chapter.
Exactly. So good luck. We know it's a long process, and it's a lot of thinking and reevaluating, but you will feel good about your work.